Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to install the VMware tools for the Mint-made virtual system. Those tools are very useful because they allow you to share the clipboard between the guest system, in this case Mint-made, and the host system, in this case Windows 7. It also allows you to drag and drop files and folders between the guest system and the host system. So you can exchange information easily between both systems when you run them side by side. So let's get the VMware player started so that we get our system running. Programs, VMware player. Here we are. I have a whole collection of virtual partitions here, mostly Linux, but I have also Windows 8. We will use the Made Basic, which is one that isn't very much advanced yet. And before you get started, go to Edit Virtual Machine Settings to make sure that your USB controller is properly set, because we will need that later when we want to read the files or the file that contains the commands for the command prompt. These two boxes have to be checked. Just make sure of that. For the rest, we are not going to go into that at this point in time. So we'll play the virtual machine, get our Mint-made started. It'll take just a second to get started. Okay. Here we go, and we get this dumb message here. Couldn't mount a floppy disk. I don't even have a floppy disk. So I say, okay, we don't need to mount that. Okay, there's two settings before you do anything that I recommend that you do. In the menu, go to Preferences and go to Power Settings. Power. Where's power? Here's Power Management here. And make sure the display here is set to never, because else it may, after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, shut off on you and you're looking into the dark. So that is important, that it's being set to never. Okay. Now if you think that's enough, well, it isn't. We'll have to go back to Preferences, and we have to go to Screensaver. And in Screensaver, there's a little box here that unfortunately by default is checked. I unchecked it earlier. That says activate the screensaver after a certain time, which is set to 5 minutes. And the screensaver is this black hole here. So again, if you're inactive for 5 minutes, everything is black. So you don't want that. You want to uncheck that. Okay, so those are the two initial settings you want to do. If you want to be fancy, you may want to set a bigger screen, but that's not really required. We can work with this little screen. So the first thing we want to do, we want to go up here to Player. This is the kind of a toolbar of VMware Player. And we go to Player, and we go to Manage. And in Manage, we would have install VMware tools. Now, since I installed them once before, we'll just reinstall them. We'll reinstall the VMware tools, and it will give us the VMware tools here. It gives us a little message that we have to be logged in, and so this message we don't need. We double click on this file here, on this here, which is called VMware tools. We double click on this, and this file we have to extract because it is a zip file. We have to extract that, and we have to extract it to desktop because that's how our commands work later. They are looking for this VMware tools distrib on the desktop. And we extract it. Okay, that'll be fast. Okay, already done. Done with this. We can close all this. We can close this. Okay, now we have it on the desktop here. This VMware Tools is DVD is still there. You can get rid of it later. You don't really need it anymore. Okay, and now is the time to insert your USB stick. Let me see. I can get this in. Okay. Should appear in a second. Here it is. And we look for the commands. I am actually put two files on my USB stick, one Notepad file and one WordPad file. Let me just show you just for demonstration. In Notepad it would look like this, but I like the WordPad better, a little fancier. And this gets opened with LibreOffice, which is the office system of Linux, and in particular with Writer, which is the equivalent to Word. So we highlight this and copy it. Let's copy this down here somewhere. Okay. And then we minimize that because we need it for the next command. This we don't need anymore. Okay. And now we open a command prompt, or as it is called in Linux terminal, and we paste it in here. Paste that in here. Okay. And then we hit enter. And then we get our next command, which is this one here. C, just for the command C, it was looking for it on desktop here. And there's a -D here, which means take all the defaults. You don't want to go through checking every option, because the default is good enough. We'll copy this and we'll minimize this and paste that in here. And also at end on, of course, it's a super user operation, super user do, so you need your password, and hit enter, and it will merrily go along. And stopping service for VMware Tools, well, it didn't merrily go along. Oh no, here it goes, of course. It's kind of a start and stop operation, I guess. But it doesn't take very long. It takes a few seconds, and at the end it tells you that it's done, and they wish you to enjoy. Okay, already done. See, it says enjoy, and that's the end of the installation. Now, the VMware Tools won't work. By the way, you can now take your USB stick out. It's no more required. The VMware Tools won't work yet because you have to reboot first. So let's reboot. You go to quit here. You don't really want to quit, but here you have all the options: suspend, hibernate, restart, shut down, and cancel, of course. So you want to restart this. Okay. Well, it takes a long time to shut down, which never understood why. But now it's already loading again. And we are back in business. Okay, now we can check whether it had worked. Let's get a URL. Let's go to this forum here and copy the URL. The URL we will put into a browser. Now, for the time being, you have only one browser, which is in Internet, and which is a Firefox browser, which has the latest news about Mint. You go up here, and in Mint you have to double click. Actually, in all Linux distros that I know, you have to double click on the browser in order to highlight it, not single click like in. And you paste the address, and then you enter and see you get the 7 forums that we had earlier. Of course, here I'm not logged in on this machine, so you don't see much. Okay, so much for copy paste. Would work the same with text. Of course, text you have to either put into a text document of any sort. You couldn't just put that on the desktop. But what we could put on the desktop is, let's say, a picture. Let's say a picture. Let's go to pictures. Let's take these pictures here. Let me. I push the Windows key and the right arrow in order to get it over here, and maybe we take those guys here and put them here, and see, now you have a picture on the desktop which I dragged from, and if you double click on it you can see the picture. Now if you want to do that a little fancier, and let me just get rid of this one. You can go to your files which are up here, or you can actually go into Start To if you want, and you can go to the home folder which contains all the files. Take the pictures, open the pictures folder. Come on, why does it not open the pictures folder? Let's see, let's try this again. Now the whole thing is, are you sure you want to permanently delete Penguin? Oh yeah, it's asking me still for the Penguin deletion. Okay, that's what was holding up. Now we can go to the pictures folder. There's already something in here. Let's get something else. Let's go back to our pictures folder. Here it is, pictures. And I don't even have to make it smaller, and let's get this picture, for example. Drag it over here, and then you have this picture over here. You could do it the other way around too. So here are pictures. So it's very easy to do. You can drag back and forth. Okay, so your system is more or less capable now of sharing the clipboard and doing the drag and drop operations. Now you can do the other setups, because this is a very basic setup, a fully set up system. If you go by the next 5 tutorials that I have in this write-up, your system will eventually look like this. Not like this, but like this. This is the way it will look like. It will have a nice taskbar here with programs pinned to the taskbar that you need. See here, I have 3 browsers other than Firefox. I have Opera and Chromium. This is not Chrome, this is Chromium. And then the terminal and a screenshot and a recording program. And here's Opera again, because what you saw earlier, let me show you again. I'm usually running my web radio via Opera on the virtual machine, which is on all the time. Then a nice start menu with nice bolded letters. All this is easy to set up. You just have to follow the tutorials. My favorites here. If you go to favorites, my favorites are here. So everything is set up, and I need about half an hour to do a setup from the basic system to this here. You will probably need 2 hours from the basic system from this basic system to the full setup, because you will have to refer to the tutorials in order to do that. Okay, that is actually all I wanted to show you.